Alright, Monster Jam fans, welcome back. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally time to get underway with the 2025 BeamNG Destruction Series. This has been a long time coming. I really mean it. It's been 3 months into the year, and we're finally getting this tour started. And we are going to be trying an all-new format today. This is the first time we're ever using this format here on the channel. So, there might be some bugs along the way, some things that will be fixed in later events, but I'm super excited that we're finally getting this started. And this year we are introducing a third competition, the timed racing competition. So plenty of action to get down to. Here at Monster Jam, we have a 16 truck lineup ready to head your way. Competing in the timed racing competition, skills challenge, and freestyle, you will see the following 16 competitors. Chad Tingler driving Overboard, Zach Garner driving Wildside, Cole Bernard driving Black Pearl, John Zimmer Jr. driving Terminal Velocity, Dalton Widener driving Jurassic Attack, Jim Kohler in Avenger, Chris Kohler in Mayhem, Joe Foley in Axe, Tyler Menega in Gravedigger, Adam Anderson in Gravedigger the Legend, Ryan Anderson in Sundigger, Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Then we'll move over, we'll see Tom Benucci in Blue Thunder, Bryce Penny in Monster Mud, Blake Ranger in Monster Mud Dalmatian, and then this is an interesting pairing. We're going to be seeing Camden Murphy and Megalon. We haven't seen word that they're not quite ready to debut that all-new class yet. We'll get there later. But with all that being said, it's officially time to finally get underway with the 2025 BeamNG Destruction Tour. Alright, fans. With that being said, we are now going to get things underway here in timed racing. And coming up first here in racing, debuting an all-new El Toro Loco body this season to some fans' surprise. This is Armando Castro. Getting stationed ready at the line. Getting ready to go green. Taking it very nicely through that first turn. You're seeing the balance and control that Armando is having over that Monster Jam truck. Oh, he's getting a little hiked up over this turn, but nice truck control. I'm liking that. Armando has his thing dialed in. Maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. The first crash of the night is in. It is a DNF tonight for Armando Castro. A very tough break for the El Toro Loco camp. We'll get into the next race very shortly. Well, it was a rough start to the night out there for Armando Castro and El Toro Loco, but this next competitor I'm sure is ready to give it his best shot here. He has not been on a full-time stadium tour in quite a few years, but he gets the chance once again this time with Team Overboard. Please welcome Chad Tingler. Let's go green. The time begins in this timed race. He's going to take it very nicely to that first turn. Does get a bit slowed down though, so that might hurt his time here. He's also going to go very wide around that corner. He's going to get ready, take him to the straightaway now. And the final time for Chad Tingler and Overboard is a 22.56. A pretty decent time, but also there's not really anything to compare it to quite yet. So we might see that time get beat, or maybe we'll see Chad win. Now he is the first driver now tonight to actually complete the racing course. Well, fans, it was a great race there for Chad Tingler. Let's get back into the action. Alright, it's now time to get into the next race of the night. Coming up here, this is Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian, two-time International Series champion. Looks like they're going to get him restaged here. Didn't like the angle he had on that ramp. It looks like he's back in restage and ready to go. Gonna get a nice start right there. Oh, this might trip him up though. He's gonna get a great save out of it, but this is not gonna be good for his time. If this was freestyle or even the skills challenge, that might have been a bit more beneficial, but Blake cannot be affording to slip up like that. He is taking some great speed though, so he's not gonna let that end his night. He's gonna get some great speed over that final jump, but his ending time is a 29.48. That's not great for Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian. That's definitely going to hurt his overall placement this season, but he still has two more competitions to try and make up for that fumble tonight. A tough break there for Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian, getting ready for the next racer. Well, coming up next, you might recognize this guy as a two-time Monster Jam World Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim Kohler, Avenger. Let's go green. Now, Jim Kohler, like I said, he is a world champion, but I wouldn't say racing is particularly what he's known for. But you never know. I mean, he has had some surprises in the 2025 season on Stadium Championship Series East. Now in the BeamNG Destruction Tour, maybe he can have that luck continue. He's going to take it over the finish line, and he's going to end with a 22.38. That's going to put Jim Kohler and Avenger currently at the top spot. Again, that's a 22.38 for Jim Kohler and Avenger, now taking the lead here in the timed racing competition. Great time there for Jim Kohler. Alright, it is now time to get into the next race of the night. Monster Jam fans, and I hope you all are ready, because coming up next, this is a legend in the making, current fan favorite in Monster Jam, Camden Murphy in Megalodon. Getting staged and ready at the starting line. Let's go racing. He's going to get such a fast start that the fin of the shark falls right off. Now Camden, he is of course known to be a racer. He races with NASCAR. Maybe he's going to demonstrate some of that speed here tonight in San Diego. And I think he is. He just had some very nice turns in that race. Oh no! And right as I say that, everything goes wrong for Camden Murphy in Megalodon. Not only did he get tripped up there on that final turn, but because he did not get at least 3 BKT tires, over that racing ramp, he's going to get a 5-second penalty. That's leaving him with a 29.05 as the time tonight. That puts him in third to last place right now. Not at all what Camden Murphy and Megalodon had in mind for this show. I am certain of that. It's time to get back to the action here with Team Scream. This time, second generation driver legend in the making, Chris Kohler, in his all new truck, Mayhem. Staged and ready at the line. He goes green. A nice start again. Jim Kohler, an Avenger, his father, holds the lead right now. Can he take the lead? He is looking very sharp through these corners. He's gonna have to nail this last turn though. And nail the last turn he does. There he goes. He crosses the line with the fastest time of the night, which you're really going to need in timed racing. A 21.13 is the official score for, the official time, I should say, for Chris Kohler and Mayhem, putting him in that top spot in this event. Coming up next to the track, a racing dark horse who should not be counted out in this competition. Team Throttle Monster's own Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack. He's getting staged and ready at the line. Again, time to beat right now is Chris Kohler and Mayhem with a 21.13. Here goes Dalton Widener. He's going to get a very clean turn. That is the best time we have seen coming around that turn in this show so far. Uh-oh. This is when things are going to start going south for Dalton Widener, it looks like. He carries a little bit too much momentum into that second turn. It's going to take him up a ramp. He is going to have a nice recovery, sort of. And that's going to end him with a time of a 24.73. Not a bad time at all for Dalton Widener, but definitely some room for improvement there. Not the fastest time of the night, but not necessarily the slowest time either. Kind of in the middle of the pack with how this event has been going so far. That wraps the night up for Dalton Widener in racing. He'll be back with a vengeance and skills. Coming up next, we got a veteran driver getting ready to hit the track. Alright, hold on 1 second there, fans. There we go. Much better. We have a veteran driver getting ready to hit the track. He is also a two-time world champion. This is Todd LeDuc, Blue Thunder. A very fast time starting off the race here. And you're going to take to that berm, very smooth, very nice. Maybe even smoother than Dalton did it. They need some nice speed down the straightaway though. Chris Kohler kept that run nice and tight, but it looks like Todd might be doing the same. He's going to accelerate past the finish line. It's going to be very close to Chris Kohler's time. But it looks like Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder ends the night with a 22.01. Not a bad time at all by any means. That is second so far in this competition, but it is not quite enough to take over that top spot from Chris Kohler in Mayhem. Coming up next, another dark horse really when it comes to the racing competition. Not one to be counted out. This is Colvinard, the Black Pearl. He's off the line. Maybe he dragged it a little bit, but not too bad there. Takes it through the turn now. He is going to have to pick up the speed a little bit though. He didn't start off the race the way I'm sure he wanted to. He's got very nice speed into this last turn, though. That might be the one. He's going to get past the finish line, and the time is a 21.59, giving Chris Kohler a run for his money nearly enough, but Chris went home with a 21.13, so a 21.59, very close, but that's only going to be enough to take over the second spot right now. A great effort nonetheless there for Colvinard driving the Black Pearl. Coming up next, please welcome to the track none other than Bryce Kenny and the Monster Mutt. He's been on a roll this year, but now taking it to the BeamNG Destruction Tour. Gotta wonder if things are going to change, especially on a new track style. Let's see how he does. He's off. He's going to nail the burn. Look at that. Another great start to the race. This is when things become a make or break ordeal though. Chris Kohler kept it clean throughout the entire course. Bryce Kenny does the same. Maybe the smoothest pass of the night, and it's going to get him a 21.03, narrowly taking the lead from Chris by 1/10 of a second. Bryce Kenny is going to edge out the lead from Chris Kohler in Mayhem, a 21.03. Giving Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt that new top spot and the new lead here in timed racing in San Diego 1. Coming up next here to the track, A fan favorite, most known for his freestyling abilities. Now he's going to take his stab at timed racing. This is Joe Foley, driver of Axe. Getting ready at the line here. He's going to get going. Now we have seen some very consistent races from the past couple competitors, but Joe Foley, even though he's not known for racing, he is off to a great start, but just like Dalton Widener, a great start is going to go south. Now, don't count him out, though. He is going to make up that speed. He's going to, make up for that loss very quickly. Oh, what a wild way to end out the race. Joe Foley in classic Joe Foley fashion. He's going to have a crazy rollover, and he's going to leave tonight with a time of a 22.23. So, definitely not the fastest time we've seen, but for the slip-up he had, it's not a bad time at all. And actually, it is going to put him in the top 5 right now, I believe. Top 5 or top 6 for the time. So Joe Foley and Axe, he did not come here to play today. He is definitely trying his best to take home some good points. Great effort there for Joe Foley and Axe. Alright, it's officially time to bring it to the next competitor. He is your reigning world freestyle champion. This is Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Getting staged and ready to go at the line. Now keep in mind, Tyler, there's a lot of pressure on him. He is a 2-time world champion, so he's going to have to show for it. This is how he's going to start off his season. Takes off the line. Very nice turn for Tyler Menninga. This is where he's got to stay consistent. A lot of drivers have gone wrong in this first turn. Tyler is not going to be one of them. He's going to take it into the last turn now. Very smooth. Maybe dragged it a little too dragged it a little bit too much, but that is not the case. Tyler Menninga just pulled off a 20.54 second run. That is the fastest run of the night. You can't make this stuff up. A 20.54. He is the first driver to go under 21 seconds here in racing. A huge feat for Tyler Menninga. That's going to put him at the top of the leaderboard, at the top of the point series right now to start off his night. What an amazing night Tyler Menninga is starting off with. Alright fans, we are in the home stretch of the racing competition now. Only 4 drivers have yet to compete. But now is when we start getting into some of the better and, not necessarily better, but more well-honed in competitors when it comes to this competition. The only drivers left are Adam Anderson, John Zimmer Jr., Zach Garner, and Ryan Anderson. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how this all goes down. Coming up next, though, he is a world racing champion. This is Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend. A very nice way to kick off this race. No time to waste for Adam. He just saw what Tyler did. He knows what it's going to take to one-up that. And he has had nothing but perfect turns so far in this racing cast. Might have lost a little bit of time there at the end. He's going to get very quick over the line, and he is over. Another crazy crash tonight. This time for Adam Anderson. But it was worth it because Adam is officially your new leader tonight in racing. He's barely able to edge out what Tyler Menninga pulled off. He's going to get a 20.34 tonight. in racing. What an amazing feat for Adam Anderson. He's the first driver to get a time under 20.5 seconds. Still no one has broken under 20 seconds yet. There's only 3 drivers left to potentially do it, so maybe this is a bit of a tough course or some tough dirt or something, but 3 competitors left to go, and right now Adam holds the lead with a 20.34 as his time. Alright, like said, only 3 competitors remain to try and dethrone Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend, who just had an absolute burner of a pass. But coming up first, of those 3 competitors still left to go, John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. He's going to get very quick off the line. Wow, he takes that first turn very tight. I don't think we've seen that yet. It seemed like a good idea at first, but it got him caught up on that center ramp, the step-up BMX ramp. Now he has a ton of time that he needs to make up for that he just lost coming out of that first berm. He's going to get very fast around the end, but because of his mistakes early on in the race, he's going to get a time of a 23.15. Not a very great time in the grand scheme of things with the show. Not the worst time we've seen, but it does put him in the lower half of the bracket. So he is going to have to do some makeup for the rest of the show if he wants to be in a good spot in the point standings coming out of this week. Nonetheless, a good effort for John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Well, at this point in the show, this is when the pressure really starts to get on for these competitors. And there's only 2 drivers left. But after that major fumble for John Zimmer Jr., you have to wonder if that makes them more confident or less confident in their racing abilities. But only 2 competitors left. First of the 2, your reigning world racing champion, Zach Garner in Wildside. A very good start to the race pass. But things are going to go south very fast for Zach Garner and Wildside. He's trying to pull out a save here or do something of the sort. Okay, he is able to get this save, but at this point, I mean, what's the point of getting the save? Oh man, what a rough night Zach Garner is off to. I mean, honestly, I was really expecting a fast pass here for Zach Garner and Wildside, but 2 major slip-ups just in the first few seconds. That is detrimental for Zach Garner. He has some serious work to do if he wants to have any chance at getting a good points standings placement coming out of this week. He gets a time of a 36.28. Not a surprise considering the awful luck he had in those first couple turns. That's going to put him in second to dead last right now. This is not a good showing for Team Overboard. Zach Garner and Chad Tingler and Overboard are the 2 bottom spots coming out of racing. Maybe when it comes to skills, they'll be able to pick it up, but only 1 competitor left to try and take the lead and win away from Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend here in timed racing. We're going to have to find out if they can do it. final competitor of the night is ready to get the ball rolling. But he has a tough task, and that is to take out his older brother's time in timed racing. Please welcome to the track, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Now Ryan has to beat a time of a 20.34, and to make podium he has to get sub 21 seconds in this race pass. The last two competitors have not had good luck at all, so the pressure is on here for Ryan to really show what he's capable of. He's off the line. He's off to a great start. He's looking good. Slows down a little bit, though. You can't really afford to do that with how consistent the other competitors have been. It is going to be another rough race tonight. This time for a driver you wouldn't expect it from. Ryan Anderson and son of a digger, he is having all sorts of problems. He is going to complete the race, but not in the fashion that you'd really expect Ryan Anderson to complete the race in. He's going to get a time of a 23.52. That is not a good score, or sorry, should I say time at all. Actually, let me correct that. He did not get at least 3 BKT tires up the finish ramp. He got 0 up the finish ramp. That means his time is a 28.52. And that's another very bad showing tonight. That puts Ryan Anderson in the bottom 5 here in timed racing. With that being said, though, your racing winner tonight is going to be none other than Adam Anderson and Gravedigger Legend. So the pressure's going to be on for him tonight. Coming in last place, though, is Armando Castro with Zach Garner in a close second. So they have the pressure on them to try and get things done later on in this competition when it comes to the skills and freestyle competitions. With that being said, it is officially time to get into said competitions. We're going to get things started with the Skills Challenge. And while we're at it, why not have this man right here kick it off? Ladies and gentlemen, he has had an awful night in racing, but he is ready to get the ball rolling here for the Skills Challenge. Coming up first here in Skills, this is Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Well, it's not often that you see Ryan opening a competition, but I mean, he had a pretty bad time in racing. The officials just figured, you know, if we're going to order the competitions based on performance, Ryan's got to go out there pretty early. So they're going to send him out here first to kick off the Skills Challenge. Gotta wonder what he might be setting up for here. Ryan, a 4-time world champion, he knows how to do something that no one else can. He's going to go in for a tombstone moonwalk. Great execution as he gets things started here. And he is balancing that truck on those front 2 BKT tires. Showing you fans how it's done. So Ryan making up some much needed points here in skills, it looks like. Have you ever seen something like that? Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, is going to do an amazing combo. He's going to have the truck on that tombstone moonwalk. He's going to walk it all the way forward. He's going to slam it on the brakes and then accelerate and get a double moonwalk. What an amazing move and perfect execution there for Ryan Anderson and son of a digger. He's still got one move left to go. I mean, how do you top a move like that, though? That was just absolutely incredible. But it looks like he's already eyeing his next hit here. You can hear him revving that engine. He wants you fans on your feet, cheering him on here as he gets ready to attempt that second hit here in the Skills Challenge. Getting ready to go here. Oh my goodness! And it's going to turn into a wild save attempt for Ryan Anderson and son of a digger. Unfortunately, he's not able to pull it off. That truck's going to end up right on its lid. But Ryan Anderson, you know what he said? I'm not going down without a fight tonight. And he pushed that truck to its absolute limits. Ryan Anderson giving it his all. 2 great attempts, but unfortunately the second one was not quite successful. Scores are now locked, ladies and gentlemen. Your official score tonight for Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger is a 9.217. A 9.217, a great score kicking off the skills challenge, but it does seem beatable, so we'll have to see what the next competitors will be able to do to try and take down that score from Ryan Anderson. Coming up next, unfortunately had a DNF earlier tonight in timed racing, but he's ready to try and get his revenge. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco, you can see that rollover definitely caused some fiberglass damage. I've never seen a bull with no horns before, but here we have it. El Toro Loco, the first of its kind. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. The pressure is on tonight, as Ryan Anderson had a very good start to the competition. Armando, though, he's going to give Ryan a run for his money, it looks like. He is showing some great balancing. He was struggling a little bit at the start of the move, but now he has that truck absolutely dialed in. Guess you could say he's wrestling that bull right now. He's going to throw it in reverse to try and get a little bit of combination action maybe going on there. But to no avail, but he still has one hit left to go, so don't count him out. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco still looking to get things done. Looks like he is now lining up on that center obstacle. Well, I'm not sure if that's exactly what Armando had in mind. He almost had another very rough competition, but he's actually going to take a rollover and make something nice out of it. So Armando Castro and El Toro Loco giving it his best here. That second hit, though, although it was cool, it wasn't necessarily intentional, and that's what the official judges are really looking for here. So let's take a look at the scores. Your official score tonight for Armando Castro and El Toro Loco is an 8.537. That's only going to be enough for second place. Not a bad score, but not the highest score ever. I'm assuming it is because of that unfortunate rollover that he saw there on that second attempt. But Armando will be back for freestyle, I can assure you of that. Well, this next driver has some serious work to do if he wants to have any shot at ending out in a good place with the series after this event. He got second to last in racing, but we know he is good in this skills competition. This is Zach Garner in Wildside. Zach always finding a way to do something interesting. But I mean, he's really going to have to get down to business here. Ryan Anderson put down a big score to kick off the competition. He put down a 9.217. Zach Garner, he's going to have to do something pretty wild here. Maybe take that truck on the wild side. But so far, he is showing some nice control, keeping it nice and balanced here. That is what we're going to need to see from Zach Garner and Wildside. Perfect truck control being demonstrated right now. You cannot ask for a skills move much better than this. Zach Garner and Wildside. I mean, that was the perfect skills move. There's nothing better than that you could ever ask for. Now, he does still have time for a second attempt here, but that's going to be a hard move to top. I mean, a perfect combination maneuver. Here he goes, though, looking for hit number 2. Oh, man. Wait! Ah! It looks like the truck almost rolled itself back over, but not quite enough momentum to do it. He suffers the same fate as Ryan Anderson. He's going to go over on a bicycle attempt. Tough break there for Zach Garner and Wildside. Official scores are in, and your score tonight for Zach Garner is a 9.083. That's going to put him in second place right now. A very good score, but unfortunately that tough break there to end out the run did hurt his score quite a bit, and he's not going to bring home the score he needed if he wanted to get that top spot here in this skills challenge. Coming up next, this competitor is a 2-time International Series champion, showing that he can get things done no matter where he is. But can he get it done in San Diego? That is the question. Blake Granger in Monster Mud Dalmatian. Here he goes. Now, Blake Granger, he is one of the greatest drivers, in my opinion, when it comes to this competition. Honestly, a top 5 driver in this competition in current day Monster Jam. Can he bring that same skill here, though? Well, that is the challenge. And it looks like he is up to that task. A perfect moonwalk so far. Keeping it balanced as he turns into a moonwalk. I guess it started as a nose wheelie. Now it's a perfect moonwalk maneuver. A great wheelie combo. It's going to get onto the sidewalls, and it's going to become a great save. So Blake Granger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. He is currently putting his skills on full display. He's still got one more attempt left to go. Looks like he's taking it to the other racing ramp. Gonna show off probably another moonwalk here. Yes, he does. Starting off as a nice, clean nose wheelie. Oh my goodness, he's going to take that all the way to the barrier. He does have the peace of mind to know when to put it in reverse. Whoa! That is one of the greatest combination maneuvers I've ever seen. He's going to take it into a slap wheelie as well. Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian doing something I have never seen before. He's going to take a moonwalk, try to combo it into a wheelie, get sideways, do a sideways wheelie, lose it, and then turn it into a slap wheelie. Absolutely incredible. With that being said, scores are now locked for Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian. And your official score tonight for Blake Granger is a 9.457. 9.457 is going to put him in the top spot. So Blake Granger and Monster Mud Dalmatian, a great position to be in here. Although racing wasn't the best, he is making up a lot of points here in the Skills Challenge. And that's what it's all about on a competitive tour like the BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series. Coming up next, he knows how to do some cool things in this competition, that is for sure. And a brand new ride for the 2025 BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction Series. This is Camden Murphy, Megalodon. Like said, Camden is no stranger when it comes to the Monster Jam Skills Challenge. And I'm sure he is going to show that off tonight, as he is currently getting set. Looks like he's got his eyes on the Morgan and Morgan backflip, or I guess, should I say, facing directly away from the Morgan and Morgan backflip ramp. He is going to go for a tombstone moonwalk, and maybe have one of the worst executions of all time. Not necessarily his fault, just gave it a little too much gas and the truck didn't get the pop it needed. Although I do think he should have maybe spent a little bit more time setting up for it. Everyone gets a bad break sometimes, and it looks like that's how things are going to go for Camden Murphy. He's now setting up for that second move here in the Skills Challenge. Beautiful execution. Nearly goes over, but he has a peace of mind to know how exactly to save it. He's going to walk it all the way up to the top of that ramp. This is something we have not seen here. What a combo! Camden Murphy and Megalodon. He is going to do another move we have yet to see tonight. Not only does he take it all the way up to the top of that ramp, he's going to move it back and get a nose pick wheelie and set it down. Camden Murphy and Megalodon absolutely showing you fans how to get it done. With that being said, though, he did have that not so great first hit. That's definitely going to impact his score here. And your official score in the Skills Challenge tonight for Camden Murphy and Megalodon is an 8.631. 8.631. Enough to put him in 4th place right now. Keep in mind, we are only 5 competitors in, so usually 4th place would be pretty good, but there's still a lot of competitors that could push that score lower. So, maybe not the best score ever, but a pretty decent score there for Camden Murphy, driver of Megalodon. Coming up next to the track, maybe one of the greatest drivers in this competition. I guess that's up and coming. I mean, there's a lot of great talent, but Dalton is a pretty new driver, so the stuff we've seen him doing in this competition is pretty amazing. I have to say, he has shown great balance when it comes to these technical moves. Now he's gonna have to, wow, I was not even English. He's gonna have to show that same skill here in San Diego. He's gonna get going on this first attempt. Take a look at this. Okay. He's gonna get a cool save out of it, but the execution of what I think he was trying to do is a little bit lacking, you know? It was still a nice move, but he's gonna have to find a way to step it up here on this second maneuver. Dalton Widener, a rare mistake in the skills challenge. I've honestly never seen him fumble like that. 2 unsuccessful hits. I am shocked. Dalton, one of the most consistent drivers when it comes to the skills challenge. His bad night gets even worse. Scores are locked. And the score tonight for Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack is a 6.816. 6.816. That's officially last place. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm not surprised. Dalton Widener not having a night that we're really used to seeing from him. So a very tough break. He will be back for freestyle. I mean, that truck held up perfectly fine, but what a tough break for Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack here in the skills challenge. Coming up next, this driver, he is one of the greatest drivers of the current day in the skills challenge. Same thing I said about Blake Granger, but they call this kid the Combo King, and they say it for a reason. Maybe we'll find out tonight. This is John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He got very tripped up in racing in what otherwise would have been a great pass. Now he's going to have to make up for some crucial points in the skills challenge. I'm sure it's nothing he can't do, though. And a perfect nose wheelie to start off this run is only proving that statement right. John Zimmer Jr., he is looking alive here. I mean, he is dead set. And it's going to be another perfect combo, just like we saw from Zach. But he is going to get a third combination on it. Goes from a moonwalk to a wheelie, back to a nose wheelie. He's walking it back once again, maybe eyeing another combination. Oh my goodness. John Zimmer Jr. Wow. I am speechless. I mean, what do you even say to a move like that? He is going to go from a moonwalk into a wheelie, into another moonwalk, goes for another wheelie, instead goes head over heels and gets save of the night. I mean, Blake Granger's gotta be nervous watching John Zimmer Jr. right now, because that was one of the best skills moves I have ever seen in my entire life. John Zimmer Jr. terminal velocity. He's now lining up for hit number 2. The pressure is on. There's a lot of crucial points on the line that he's going to have to make up for after that rough night in racing. But, I mean, he is perfect. I mean, there's not a single critique I have for this moonwalk we're seeing right now. I mean, he's keeping it settled. He's keeping it smooth and steady. There's just nothing bad to say about this current performance. And he's keeping it going here in the skills challenge. John Zimmer Jr., he finds a way to take 2 attempts and turn it into like 8 different moves. It's incredible. Right now he's on like move number 6 or 7 or maybe even 8. And he's going to turn into an incredible save, and he's trying for another combination maneuver like he did on that first move. Not quite going to get it, but I mean, that was a textbook Monster Jam skills run if I've ever seen one. 2 absolutely perfect moonwalk maneuvers. sets it back down perfectly onto all 4 BKT tires. I mean, John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity, he did not come here to play. That is absolutely for sure. Scores are now locked. And the official score tonight for terminal velocity is a 9.813. Put it in one of the biggest scores of all time. I mean, that's got to go in the history books. That is absolutely incredible. John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity, he just absolutely delivered. He showed up and showed out here in the skills challenge. He's officially your new leader, and this is really going to help him get back those points that he lost earlier tonight in the timed racing competition. A great night so far for John Zimmer Jr. after this competition. Coming up next, you know the pressure is on for this driver because the skills challenge really isn't his strong suit. And on top of that, this is his first stadium skills challenge since I can remember. Chad Tingler and Overboard now hitting the track, and man, I mean, if I were Chad, I'd be sweating bullets right now because I don't even know what he could possibly do to even try to come close to what John Zimmer Jr. just did. But I mean, he's gonna give it an attempt, that's for sure. He's going to start things off here, taking it onto that racing starting ramp. And it's going to be a wheelie attempt tonight for Chad Tingler and Overboard. Certainly not a bad attempt, but can that even come close to what we just saw from John Zimmer Jr.? I mean, I don't think so. Still a great effort there for Chad Tingler. One more move to go. He is eyeing that center obstacle. And it's going to be a great sky wheelie tonight for Chad Tingler, but that is not a good sign. You take a look at the rear end of that Monster Jam truck. See those components hanging down. Those are called sway bars, and collectively it is a sway bar. And Chad Tingler and Overboard, he just caused some serious damage. I'm sure it's nothing they can't fix, but they're going to have to get to work on that if Chad Tingler wants to make it back for freestyle. So a tough break there for Chad Tingler. But he still did get 2 successful hits off. With that being said, the official score tonight for Chad Tingler and Overboard is a 7.013. 7.013. Not a super high score, not the lowest score we've seen. Chad Tingler, pretty average skills performance right there. Coming up next, this driver, he is a multiple-time world champion. And he is definitely a rising star in this competition. This is Mr. Excitement himself, Jim Kohler, and the Avenger. Now, Jim Kohler, keep in mind, he has yet to get a win in the skills challenge. To my knowledge, I don't think he's ever gotten a win in this competition, but I could be wrong there. Nonetheless, though, Jim Kohler still has yet to make a name for himself in this competition. At least he hadn't coming into the 2025 season, but he's had some pretty interesting things going down this year. But can he bring those same skills to the BeamNG Destruction series? We're going to have to wait and find out. He's going to bring some great speed, and he is going to nail a sky wheelie. He's going to get a slap wheelie out of it as well. A pretty decent first attempt. I think it wasn't groundbreaking by any means, but still a pretty clean, you know, textbook sky wheelie combination there. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less out of that step-up ramp, but Jim Kohler is going to have to make up here on the second hit. Not necessarily that the first hit was a bad hit, but it doesn't come close to what we've seen so far tonight. So Jim Kohler gonna have to do something crazy here. They do call him Mr. Excitement. Well, Jim Kohler, an Avenger, he's gonna give it his best effort. But unfortunately, that was a pretty run-of-the-mill skills performance. I mean, a good sky wheelie and a good bicycle, but again, nothing groundbreaking there. We are going to have to now head over to take a look at the scores for Jim Kohler and Avenger tonight. And the scores are now locked. Your score for Jim Kohler and Avenger is a 7.932. 7.932. Not enough for that top spot. Not a very great placement for Jim Kohler. That does put him in the bottom 3 currently. He will be back with Avengers and Freestyle, I'm sure of that. Still plenty of great competitors to come here in the Skills Challenge, but not the night for Jim Kohler so far. Coming up next in true Monster Jam fashion, this next competitor had a crazy rollover earlier tonight in timed racing. Fortunately, the truck sustained no more than cosmetic damage, so Joe Foley and Axe is up next, and he's ready to go. He did have a pretty good racing time, even if the race didn't necessarily end the best way, so Joe Foley should be coming into this competition with a pretty decent mindset. He is in the top 50% of the field, which generally does leave you with pretty good odds of being invited for the World Finals later in the season. But we're only one competition into the season right now. This is only the second competition of the year. And usually there's a lot more than 2 competitions in a year. So Joe Foley, not to get too overconfident, but he's off to a pretty nice start. Getting lined up here. First hit here in the Skills Challenge, Joe Foley and Axe. He's not necessarily the most known for these maneuvers, but he's gonna give it a good go here on this moonwalk combination. And I'm very satisfied with what we're seeing out of Joe Foley right now. Oh, a tough hit right there on the front end. I don't think that's exactly what he had planning, or what he had planned on doing, I should say, but nonetheless, a pretty great first hit for Joe Foley. One more to go here. Joe Foley is going to be the first of the night to successfully pull off a bicycle to moonwalk maneuver. That is going to be crucial for points. When you do something that the judges have not yet seen, it's gonna be good for your score. I mean, that's a guarantee when it comes to Monster Jam. So Joe Foley and Axe, you know he's got to be happy with a performance like that. Joe Foley and Axe came here and performed at his absolute best. in the skills challenge. He's been off to a great start to the night, but will the scores reflect it? Ladies and gentlemen, your score tonight for Joe Foley and Axe is a 9.215, a great score that's going to put him right behind Ryan Anderson at a 9.217, so very close difference right there as well. Not a bad score at all for Joe Foley and Axe. That puts him in the top five. That puts him in the top 5 competitors right now, which is a great spot to be. You can't go wrong with being in the top 5, so Joe Foley off to a great start in the BeamNG Destruction Series season. Up next, straight out of my hometown here in Arizona, but now taking the road trip down to San Diego, California. This is Todd LeDuc, Blue Thunder. He is a world champion, so he's no stranger to being on the Monster Jam circuit, but that's no guarantee that you're going to perform at your best. And you definitely saw that in racing earlier tonight with some select drivers. So Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder, he still has to get to work here, but I do think he has a pretty good shot at getting a good score and a big number if he can get that truck to do what he wants it to. Gonna bring it onto a bicycle. Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder trying to get that to work out in his favor. That's not something he was able to do though. Despite his best efforts, that truck just could not bounce onto those front 2 BKT tires, which I think is what he was looking for, seeing as he slammed it in reverse right there. One more hit to go. And it's a rough night tonight for Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder in the skills challenge. He honestly had 2 relatively unsuccessful attempts. They were good bicycles themselves, but nothing to make them stand out from the crowd. And so far, every other competitor has done something pretty big. So Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, and Blue Thunder. Wow, I'm used to him being in Megalodon. Blue Thunder in this tour, and his score tonight is a 7.318. 7.318. That's gonna put him towards the bottom of the bracket here. So, not quite what Todd LeDuc was looking for. Nonetheless, he's not in the worst place ever with points because he did have a decent night in racing, but I'm sure he would have liked to have something a little bit better going for him than that. Nonetheless, though, Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder gonna come back with a vengeance in freestyle. Man, how time flies when you're having fun at a Monster Jam event. We are down to the last 4 competitors here in the Great Clips, whoa, can't say that anymore. Here in the Skills Challenge before we make our way, 5 competitors, I should say. I was a little bit incorrect. There are 5 competitors left here in the Skills Challenge before we make our way into everybody's favorite, the freestyle competition. So far, we have seen some absolutely incredible action all across the board. And all these competitors are going to have to be on their A-game if they want to have a shot at making it high up on the leaderboard. Up first of those 5, Cole Vennard, the Black Pearl. Nice wheelie. You know, though, I don't know that wheelies are going to be able to cut it here. We have seen Some absolutely great competition so far. And the wheelies we have seen did not place all that high up, so Cole Vennard, he's still going to make the most of it though. I mean, by all means, a great wheelie move right there. And he's going to set it down with a bit of flair as well. So Cole Vennard, the Black Pearl, getting things done here. He does have another shot. Second move here. That was a great wheelie combo. I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough to wow the officials here. The official judges, I should say. Nonetheless, though, one more hit to go for Cole Vennard. And it's going to be a great bicycle, but nothing unlike what we've seen before. Good effort, though, for Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl. Let's find out what that score tonight is going to be. Your score for Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl is an 8.137. Not a bad score at all, honestly. Now, with how this competition has been, it does put him pretty low down in terms of placement, but for a base score, that's not too bad there for Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl, the pirate himself. Coming up next, here in the Skills Challenge, only 4 competitors left to go. We're in the final quarter. This is Chris Kohler, Mayhem. Now, Chris Kohler, he's got his work cut out for him, that is for sure. It has been an absolutely incredible night of action all across the board. So Chris Kohler, he's going to have to do something unlike what we've seen before. Or he's going to have to do something like we've seen before, but do it even better. So, the pressure is on right now for Chris Kohler, especially being so high up in points. You don't want to lose that spot. Looks like he might be setting up for a maximum moonwalk. We have seen some tombstones tonight, but we have yet to see maximum moonwalk. So, Chris Kohler and Mayhem giving us something new. That's something the official judges will like to see. Chris Kohler and Mayhem. Oh, looks like he tried to take a page out of Brian Anderson's book and do a double moonwalk combo. He could not pull it off, though. Nonetheless, he had a great moonwalk, but I think he could have walked it a little longer had he not got ahead of himself there and tried to do that combination. One more attempt here. Chris Kohler and Mayhem, let's hear it. Trying his best there to do some good combination moves. A great maximum moonwalk for the first hit. Second hit, bit of a run-of-the-mill bicycle. Did get a bit of a wheelie combo out of it, though, so that's something to keep in mind. Scores are locked, and your score tonight for Chris Kohler and Mayhem is an 8.021. 8.021, maybe a bit of a low score. It's not a very high score compared to what we've seen tonight, but I mean, like said, when it gets to this point in competition, you have to do something that the judges haven't seen yet, or they're not going to be impressed, and it looks like that's how things went here for Chris Kohler in the Mayhem machine. Coming up next, we are now in the final 3 competitors. This is when things start to get intense, especially with how much is on the line points-wise. With these drivers being in the final 3 of the first show of the year, this means that this is where all the points are going to start to kind of divide out who's going to be at what point in the series standings. So the pressure is on to stay high up in the series after a successful night in racing, and that is what Bryce Kenny is certainly under right now. He's going to get a perfectly executed tombstone, though. Oh, no. Oh, what a tough break. Bryce Kenny and Monster Mud, he cannot afford to slip up, and that's exactly what he did. That is going to hurt his scores. And the scores are now locked, ladies and gentlemen. Your score tonight for Bryce. Oh, one more thing to note. With this series, you will not have your run ended for hitting a container, but you will receive a 1-point deduction from any score you get. Something I forgot to note at the start of this show, something a little bit different with the rules in the BeamNG Destruction series. Instead of having your freestyle run ended from hitting barriers, you will just lose a point, and that goes for skills as well. So, the official score tonight for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt is a 6.307. 6.307. Keep in mind, that is with the 1-point deduction, so a very tough break there for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. That is going to plummet him in the overall standings, because that is currently dead last here in the skills challenge. With that being said, only 2 competitors remain. This is when the competition is going to get fun to watch. Like said, only 2 competitors remain, and with this being the first show of the season, they are also currently the top 2 with points, so the pressure is on to try and hold that spot in points. And the first of those 2, he is a world champion in this competition, the skills challenge, so maybe a little bit in his favor here. This is Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. And in true Tyler Menninga fashion, what better way to kick things off than with a perfect moonwalk maneuver? Why not combo it up into a wheelie? Because, I mean, what else can Tyler not do? And just bring a moonwalk out of nowhere out of it. Into another wheelie. I mean, this is what Tyler Menninga is known for. This is just not a real combination. How do you pull off something like that? You know, Tyler Menninga never fails to do something that no one's ever seen, whether for the better or for the worse. I mean, sometimes he just has awful luck that is unmatched, but other times he does an insane move that you've never seen before. You never know. It's always a surprise when Tyler Menninga hits the track. One more hit to go. Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger, talk about a move. He is going to take some beautiful sidewalls here in San Diego. Absolutely perfect execution. You cannot ask for a better bicycle move than that. Tyler Menninga, let me recount the revolutions here. 1, 2, 2.5 perfect spins for Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Of course, paired with that incredible skills maneuver. Your score tonight for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger is a 9.427. That is not enough for that top spot, but that does put him way up there in the top 3 scores. So maybe not quite enough to wow the judges, which okay, I mean, Lil Zim did great, but that also puts him behind Blake Granger, so maybe going out early benefited Blake Granger in that sense. But with that being said, only 1 competitor remains, the only driver left, your racing winner. Alright, Monster Jam fans, like said, it's officially that time. This is your final competitor in this competition, and the pressure is on because he just won JCB Racing, and now, I mean, he's going to have to do something never before seen if he wants to get a good score, and he's going to need to get a good score if he wants to hold on to that top spot. This is Adam Anderson, driver of Gravedigger the Legend this season. And this is interesting. I believe the name for a move like this is a Crypt Walk, as Adam has called it himself. He's setting up sideways on the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. Wow. Nearly loses it right away, but he knows what he's doing. He's able to set it back onto those front two tires instead of setting it down a little bit early. And now he just has a picture-perfect stoppie going. I mean, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend, a great night going. And it looks like that is going to continue into the skills challenge right now. Adam, you know, he's not really known for having perfectly balanced moonwalks like this. But apparently tonight, that is going to be the case. And he's going to just start walking it forward now. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend, incredible showing of skill right there. He has one more move left to go. Keep in mind that score to beat is from John Zimmer Jr. with a 9.813. I'm not sure Adam's going to even be able to do it unless he does the greatest save in Monster Jam history right here. He is coming onto that bicycle. He's going to ride it very nicely. And I said he was going to need a great save, but it looks like he almost had it. I'm not really sure why he didn't just accelerate right there. A rare mistake from Adam Anderson. He's going to go over early. So probably not exactly everything he was looking for, but he still gave it his all. With that said, scores are now locked tonight for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend. And your score for Adam Anderson is an 8.423, not even close to enough for that top spot, which means your skills challenge winner, and now going to be closing freestyle, is John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity. Well, fans, we've had a great start to the action so far tonight, but now it's going to be time to move into Monster Jam Freestyle. In the meantime, we're going to move into a brief intermission. Expect maybe 5-minute break here as we get ready to move into freestyle. Go get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, use the bathroom, do whatever you have to do. We're going to get right back into the action very shortly. Well, I hope you fans all got rested up while you had a chance, because we are now officially getting started with Monster Jam Freestyle. I hope you all enjoyed that little intermission, because, man, did I need to get some hydration. When you're commentating over an incredible Monster Jam show for over 2.5 hours, you need some good hydration or your voice is going to be in some big trouble. So, we are back and ready to get into the action. And coming up first, he got dead last in skills, and when this driver gets last, it pumps him up. It gets him fired up to do something crazy the next time he hits the track. This is Bryce Kenny, driver of Monster Mud. And 2 minutes for Bryce Kenny begins now. He gets started with some massive air. That is what I'm talking about, Bryce. You show him what you're all about. Skills might not have gone perfectly, but maybe freestyle can be your competition. Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. He is off. And he is going huge to get started here in freestyle. Keep in mind, this is his first time on this track, which is a crazy in and of itself that he's already going this big, and he's never even driven this track before. On top of that, this is the first run of the night, first run of the season, so I mean, Bryce has a lot to prove right now. Rolling over on your first hit in skills, never something you want to do as a driver. So Bryce Kenny's, you can tell he's pumped up just with all these full sends we've seen so far, and he is going huge once again. Bryce Kenny and Monster Mud not playing around right now. Time is definitely starting to tick down, though. You lose track of time when it comes to these freestyle runs. Looking at the official time, he's got about 50 seconds left, though. He has less than half of his time remaining. This is when you gotta do something wild. Looks like he's lining up on the Morgan backflip, though. A great backflip. He is gonna moonwalk. After a great moonwalk combination maneuver for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt, he's taking it to the step up, and he is going sky high here in SnapDragon Stadium. I think he just went outside of the stadium, he got so high in the air. Time continues to tick down, though, for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. He has still yet to get that wow factor into this freestyle run. Full sends it. He is going to go over. He's trying to save this. They're going to shut him off. Looks like a broken tie rod. But they're not going to be able to end that run before he pulls off that save. In true Bryce Kenny fashion, he's going to end the run with an incredible save. Right as I was saying, we still haven't gotten that wow factor yet. He's going to be able to do it, and because he hit the ramp on that last move just before time ran out, even though the save was after time, he still did do that crazy move in time, technically because he hit the ramp during time still being available. So Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt, a wonderful way to end the run. Pulled through at the very end, and your score tonight for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt is a 9.175. Maybe a little bit low, but it's the first run of the night, so it's just setting a basis. It's not to say it's a low score, because we don't know what the other scores are going to be quite yet. So Bryce Kenny opens freestyle with a pretty high score of a 9.175. This next competitor has struggled with nothing but bad luck in this event so far. Rough night in racing, rough night in skills. Maybe his time, his calling is in Monster Jam Freestyle. Please welcome Team Throttle Monster's own and the only driver of Team Throttle Monster on this series, Dalton Widener in the Jurassic Attack. Dalton, he was the first driver to ever freestyle on this track, so maybe that'll be some good luck for him here. I don't know. He debuted this track in freestyle, though, back in Glendale last year, so Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack, he has some pretty good experience going for him, but he's going to have to translate that into a crazy run. 2-minute timer is, of course, underway, and he's getting some great air. I mean, not to count him out. I think the momentum could be a bit improved, but he's not necessarily using momentum. He's getting squared with ramps and then accelerating and getting great air out of it, just like that. Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack, he's a bit of a different driving style. He's not going to get all the way on the ragged edge like some competitors like Bryce Kenny will. But he'll still full send it. He'll still get those flips in there. And he said coming into this year, he wants to go big week in and week out. He doesn't care about parts. He doesn't care about what's broken, what's not. All he wants to do is throw down the best freestyle runs he absolutely can. And that's exactly what he's doing so far here. He has given us some great air all throughout this freestyle run. He's getting this turn back around now, it looks like. He's going to take it to the car stack, and he's going to get huge. He just sent that truck straight into orbit. And it looks like it's Morgan backflip time. Nails the landing. That is what I'm talking about. Dalton Widener's Jurassic Attack, like I said, he will do some crazy things. When it comes his time and he just sent that truck off the step up, man, that is the biggest air we have seen all night without a doubt. Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack, he's running slow on time. He's running short on time. And his time now expires. Maybe he's going to try and fit in one more full send in there, but that ramp gets in his way. He's still going to go big to end out the run, but I'm not sure if it was quite big enough. Giving us some celebratory donuts now. Oh, giving a little love tap to the barrier right there. Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack, definitely better than his skills and racing performances went. That was a great freestyle. It doesn't matter who you ask. That was just a good big air freestyle run. Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack showing you fans how it's done. But is it enough? The score would be at 9.175 for Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt. The score tonight for Dalton Widener is an 8.523. Not enough for that top spot. A good score. Not a super high score. I think it's a little bit of a low score with how much air he was getting. But nonetheless, not an awful score for Dalton. We'll just have to see how it holds up against other competitors here in freestyle. Coming up next to the track, racing with Overboard Racing this year, Overboard Motorsports, and he is a Monster Jam veteran. He has performed in several World Finals freestyle competitions before. This is Chad Tingler, Overboard. Of course, this is his first Stadium Series in a long, long time, so there's got to be some pressure on to try and perform at your best when you're such a you're such a fan favorite, and you know your name is well known. You can't let the judges and the fans down. So the pressure is on for Chad Tingler and Overboard to have a good performance, but I mean, he hasn't driven on a floor this big in a very, very long while, so we're gonna have to see what he's really able to do here. He's giving it some good effort so far, but nothing groundbreaking so far. Nice sky wheelie, okay. We're seeing lots of wheelies tonight from Chad Tingler so far. We're going to take it to Send It Town. There we go. Some nice air. Biggest air we've seen from Chad Tingler so far tonight. Remember earlier in this show, we had some nice wheelie action going on, but ultimately would break a sway bar because of it. This is a testament to how good our Monster Jam technicians are. They were able to get that truck fixed and back out here. Looks like it's Morgan and Morgan backflip time. This is going to be big. He nails the landing. Chad Tingler and overboard. This is huge. He has not landed a backflip like that. He's not landed a backflip like that. That is how you say it. In a very long time, he's going to follow it up with a barrel roll save. Chad Tingler and overboard. He is back in business. Oh my goodness. What a rough hit there. I mean, he's had some of everything, but I think if he's going to do something to end out this run, he's got to have some good air going. Maybe that's what he's lining up for. There we go. A full send for Chad Tingler and overboard. Time officially has expired. So Chad Tingler gonna go for one more wheelie tonight. That's where things are gonna end, right there on top of that racing lane. What a performance out of Chad Tingler. Not the biggest amount of momentum, but some great highlights and some pretty decent air to end out the run. With that being said, let's take a look at the scores. Score to beat right now, 9.175 from Bryce Kenny Monstermutt. Your score for Chad Tingler and overboard is an 8.421. That's going to put him in last place right now. I think that's a bit debatable. He had some great wow moments in there, but as the official judges have said, not enough. It's going to put him in third place right now. Not a bad place to be. We'll see how that score holds up as this competition continues on. Again, that is a 8.421 for Chad Tingler in overboard. Coming up next, please welcome Todd LeDuc, Blue Thunder. Now Todd, freestyle, it's been interesting recently, but now he's back in his favorite truck that he's driven in recent years, Blue Thunder. He's out of Megalodon for this season as Camden Murphy takes up the name, so maybe Todd LeDuc will see him perform a little bit more like his older self here on this tour. He's off to a great start. Gonna get this turn back around now. He does tap that dumpster, but I don't think it was enough of a hit to take away from his score. We'll see what the official call is at the end of the run. If his score seems oddly low, it's going to be because of that dumpster tap right there. Again, like said, dumpster hits on this tour are not going to end runs, but they are going to reduce your score as a driver, so that's something to keep in mind here as we watch Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder trying to give it a good run here. Oh, there we go. He was trying to pull off this move for all the skills challenge. Now he's going to get it here in freestyle. And he's the first driver to really incorporate skills into his freestyle run in some way. Oh my goodness. Todd LeDuc digging deep for the save, and he nails that save. Absolutely incredible stuff from Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder. It's backflip time. He's going to overdo it, but I mean, he's going to get that truck on all fours nonetheless. And there is no damage beyond cosmetic damage to that truck, and he is taking it to Send It Town. I haven't seen Todd LeDuc get air like this in a minute. He is going big. He said, I don't want to go home. It's too hot in Arizona. and he is just going big instead. I mean, Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder, he's getting his turn back around. Maybe time for one more hit. He goes huge. And that is going to wrap things up for Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder. What a killer freestyle. I mean, there was everything. There was air, there was skills, so, you know, some technical moves, just a backflip. There was wow factors with that crazy save he had. I mean, a perfect Monster Jam freestyle run for Todd Leduc. I don't really know how else to say it. With that said, though, scores are locked. Score to beat is a 9.175 for Bryce Kenny Monster Mutt. Your score for Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder is a 9.238. That's going to put Todd at the top spot. Your new freestyle leader, Todd Leduc and Blue Thunder. Coming up next, please welcome to the track, two-time Monster Jam World Freestyle Champion, Jim Kohler, Avenger. Jim Kohler, he's coming out here with a lot of momentum. He, I mean, really should be. He has a lot to make up for. You know, it's not been his greatest night ever. Not to say it's been a bad night, but he's not looking the best in points so far in this run. A slight pause there. It looks like they paused the clock for a second, but he's back up and running. Not sure what that was all about. So Jim Kohler and Avenger, he's back in business here. And he's going to get some great air going right now. I mean, this has been a great year to be alive with Jim Kohler behind the wheel. I mean, he has just been going absolutely crazy in freestyle, but like said for some other competitors, is he going to be able to bring that same energy here to the BeamNG Destruction series? Because that's what the real question is. Well, Jim Kohler and Avenger, he is going crazy so far here in freestyle, so I'd say yes, he absolutely is bringing that energy here. Oh my goodness. He's getting twisted and sideways and all sorts of things right now. Jim Kohler and Avenger still got plenty of time to make things happen. He is just going full send central though. I mean, not a single run to really stalk over, or jump to stalk over, I should say. He has been going crazy in this run. And it looks like he's lining up for the Morgan backflip ramp. Gonna opt out from a mini flip today. Oh no! Maybe a mini flip would have been the right decision, as Jim Kohler and Avenger goes over very early. And this has been a tight competition, so that's not a good sign for Jim Kohler. Like I've said all night long, if you're not on your A game with this tour, it's gonna hurt your score. And Jim Kohler is gonna go over on the backflip. It sounded like he might have even been going for a consecutive backflip or something of the sorts, but I don't know. He's going to go over very early. And your score tonight for Jim Kohler is a 7.327. Left too much time on the clock for the official judges. They did not like that at all. And that's going to hurt his score, put him in last place, which is currently 5th place. You never know. Some other competitors can also have not the best nights and put Jim in a good spot. But for now, Jim Kohler, 5th place. So, we'll see how that score holds up. Well, this is an interesting way to go back to back here in freestyle. We're going from one generation to the next. We went Grim. Wow, that was not even English. I've been talking so much today commentating this event, I'm starting to lose the ability to speak. We went from the first generation Jim Kohler onto the second generation Chris Kohler. This is what it's all about here in Monster Jam. I mean, I guess driving monster trucks is a bit of a generational talent, but Chris Kohler in Mayhem, he's getting underway here. This is the year he debuted this brand new, beautiful truck, so he was really excited coming into this season. He was looking to have a big year, but so far, it could have been a little bit better. Racing was good, though, and skills wasn't terribly low, so Chris does still have a chance to end out decently in points after the show, but he's going to have to throw it down here in freestyle if he wants to have any hopes of that happening. And I mean throw it down, because this has been a crazy night so far. He really can't afford to slip up anywhere. You have to be on your toes, you have to have good momentum. If you go wrong in any one of those categories, your night is pretty much done. I mean, this is a very cutthroat tour, so Chris Kohler and Mayhem, you can tell he's going through some of that pressure right now as he's trying to continue with the big air in this run. Oh my goodness. He's starting to get on the ragged edge a little bit. You can tell this is when he starts to realize how much is on the line, and really he hasn't done enough to take the lead so far in my eyes, so he's going to have to keep stepping it up if he wants to have any hope at finishing much of anywhere. Well, that's a cool move. He just took one straight out of Cole Bernard's book and had a perfect walk the plank backflip. That was incredible. Cole Bernard might have to sue Chris Kohler. That was a straight robbery. I mean, maybe not even sue, just call the cops on Chris at that point. But he is going, he's taking this around. And he is going to send it down with a move like that. Chris Kohler and Mayhem, a very nice way to end out the run. But here's the thing. Like I said, competition tonight is fierce. And you really have to do something groundbreaking if you want to have a good score. So I think Chris had good momentum, good air, good backflip. But aside from that backflip, there wasn't a major wow factor. So we'll see how the scores play out. And scores are locked. Your score tonight for Chris Kohler and Mayhem is an 8.211. It's going to put him in second to last place right now. Not the best showing for the Kohlers so far. I mean, neither of them did anything particularly crazy here in freestyle to get them with some high scores. So they're definitely going to have to make up some ground the next event. Alright. We're starting to near the halfway point. This is competitor number 7 here in freestyle. But I'll tell you what, if anyone knows how to put down a freestyle, it's going to be this guy right here. So, all the dude's got to be nervous as he watches Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl take it to the track. Cole Bernard, no stranger to throwing it down in freestyle, nearly became a world freestyle champion back in 2023. And he's looking to make it back to the World Finals and make it back up to a high score once again. So he gets started with some huge momentum. And like said, Cole Bernard, he has a lot of pressure on him right now, as he has had a pretty decent night, but had nothing particularly great going for him. Maybe this is his chance if he can get this back on all fours. Yes, he does. Colvinard and Black Pearl, I mean, that should have been like a 5-second save. Somehow he turned it into a save that took a lot longer than that. Now he's starting to lose some of that momentum he had built up earlier. Which you'd expect after a crazy save like that, you'd actually have more momentum, but Colvinard, he's starting to look a little bit lost. Maybe he's just dizzy, but I don't know. He's gonna have to do something crazy to follow that up. He's not slowing down in the air department, though. I'll give him that. Nothing is slowing down Colvinard and the Black Pearl tonight. He has gone to send it town. Hit after hit. Look at the sky wheelie action. He is going end over end. Oh, no. Another incredible save. It looks like he did get a little bit close to being out of bounds, so the clock has been paused at 38 seconds for Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Well, that is the second great save that we have seen tonight for the Black Pearl. He nearly messed it up too, but he was able to get his stuff back right at the very end. And he is refired. He's ready to go here. Clock is now going to resume. Coming down to about 30 seconds left. He is going to go for the Morgan & Morgan backward ramp. Gets a very clean landing. Looks like he tried to do a walk the plank, but instead just climbed up the ramp. He's going huge. Look at that. He's going to get this turned around now. I'm starting to lose my voice. Like I said, when you're talking for like 3 hours, your voice is going to start to get tired. Colvinard and the Black Pearl. What a crazy way to end a freestyle run. I mean, we're the first event into the season right now. We might already have our Crash Madness of the Year candidate. Nearly became Wow Factor of the Year. I mean, he went into a barrel roll to a backflip to a cartwheel before ending up on the lid. So what a crazy way to go there for Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Now, that was an incredible run, and with that said, scores are now locked. Pressure's on for Cole to get to the top of the series. And the score for Colvinard and the Black Pearl is a 9.539. That's going to put him straight up in first place. Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Skills didn't go perfectly, but I'm certain that freestyle did, because that is a massive score for Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Bringing it home tonight. What an incredible night that Colvinard is off to. Absolutely incredible stuff for Colvinard. Alright, with this next competitor up, we will officially be halfway through the freestyle competition. Coming up next year in freestyle, your racing winner, Adam Anderson, Grave Digger the Legend. Again, Adam won racing, but placed pretty much exactly in the middle of the pack when it came to skills, so the pressure is on if Adam still wants to be series leader leaving this event, because right now Tyler is looking very up. Which, although he's a teammate technically to Adam Anderson, in Adam's eyes, that's not a win for him. So Adam getting this turned around here. And he's getting on the gas to get this run started. Look at the air! He just cleared the entire track like it was nothing. We haven't seen a single competitor do that so far tonight. And you can see it's very noticeable with Adam's truck. The rear suspension is set up very particularly to where the truck doesn't really bounce around that much. It takes landings really well, and it transforms them all into very smooth, slack wheelie opportunities if he gets on the gas. So Adam looks like he has his truck set up a little bit differently with this competition in mind, and it's going to pay off as he gets an incredible save. Maybe not the exact caliber of what we saw from Cole Bernard's saves, but I mean, nonetheless, Adam Anderson, he is pushing this truck to the limits. Wow. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the legend. It's a miracle that the truck isn't broken after a landing like that. He's going huge once again. That truck is really struggling to hold up. It looks like there is a piece that's broken, but to my knowledge, that truck is still performing correctly, and that's the only thing we're really looking for. He's trying to line up for the backflip ramp. Oh, this is not good looking for Adam Anderson. Yeah, there's some truck issues going on. They're not run-ending issues. It looks like maybe just a tie rod issue, but looks like the officials have decided that he's not going to be able to do a backflip tonight, and that is going to be crucial for points. So, Adam, you know he's going to be fired up right now. He's going to have to do something crazy here to close out this freestyle run to get the points that he's going to miss out on for not being able to fit in a backflip. He's going cross-threading right now. I mean, what else can you really do? You have a broken truck, you can't really control where you're going. You don't really have a choice but to just throw that truck every which way that it will go. And it looks like Adam Anderson, Gravedigger Legend, trying to do that right now, and he is done. Incredible save is going to end out the run, but with that being said, it was not really the way Adam Anderson wanted to go out tonight. I mean, I'm sure he would have liked to give it a little bit more than that to end it, but I mean, nonetheless, he made the most of what he could. So let's just see what the scores have to say. Score to be is a 9.539 for Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl. An absolutely huge score. The score tonight for Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend, is... it's going to be a 9.043, which is not honestly a bad score at all. For no backflip, a 9.043 is a wonderful score. Adam should be going home very happy to have placed above Dalton and Chad and Chris, who all successfully landed backflips. It was all in the wow factor for Adam Anderson as he was able to pull off 2 incredible recoveries in that freestyle. I mean, aside from that, I guess the judges liked what they saw, so good night there for Adam Anderson, Gravedigger Legend. It's going to continue on. Coming up next, this competitor's had a little bit of a rough night. Skills wasn't terrible, but racing, it was a DNF, that's dead last. So he has some serious work to do to make up for that. Please welcome Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. Here he comes, and he hits the track with some great air. I mean, that was some pretty huge air. Maybe not the biggest air of the night, but it was definitely up there. Gotta get this turned back around, though. I mean, again, this is a very cutthroat competition. You really have no time to waste. You can't spend too much time trying to get that truck turned around or anything of the sorts. Armando Castro, he is going to spend his time pulling off an amazing save, so that's definitely something the judges will like. But that's the same way he almost went over in racing. Actually, that's the same way he did go over in racing, and he almost goes over in freestyle. So Armando's got to be careful. I don't think he's used to this dirt style because he just cannot stop getting hiked up on these turns. I mean, I will say it's making for some great saves, which in the freestyle competition is a great thing to have going for you, but when it comes to things like racing or even occasionally skills, you're not going to want to have the truck behaving that way. Oh, this is where it becomes a bad thing for freestyle. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco goes in for the save. And he's not going to get the save. He is running a new chassis this year, and I guess it's just not working out for him because he almost went over 2 times in that run, and then by the 3rd time he did go over. I guess 3rd time's a charm if you like rollovers. What a tough break for Armando Castro, though. You saw he still tried to save it, but he was already too far gone. So scores are locked for Armando Castro and El Toro Loco, and the score tonight is a 6.371. Now, keep in mind, he did not fill at least 60 seconds, which is why that is such a low score. He got a 1-point deduction. So instead, it would have been a 7.371 had that not occurred. But because that occurred, he is going to lose points. So a tough break tonight for Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Could not catch a break, and this is going to really, really hurt his placements. Coming up next, one of the best freestylers in the business, as he's been called. Now behind the wheel of a new truck for the season, please welcome Camden Murphy, Megalodon. Camden's not been off to a bad start so far, at least not as far as skills goes. Racing is another story. Racing did not go well at all for Camden Murphy, and he's really going to have to make up for some points here in freestyle. He's going big to kick things off, so I mean, like I said, he has to make up for his points, and I think he's well aware of that. He is going pretty huge to kick off this freestyle run, and that's a trend that's going to continue on, it looks like, because 2 hits in, and both of them have been full-on pedal to the metal, huge air ascent, and now he's 3 for 3. Camden Murphy, he is pumped up. And it's the start of a new season. How could you not be pumped up? It's a mix of excitement, nervousness, anger from doing so poorly in racing. I mean, there's a lot going through Camden Murphy's mind right now, and he is just going really big here in freestyle, and that's exactly what the judges are going to like to see. That's why Dalton Weiner got such a good score, even without a particular wow moment in his freestyle run. He just had pure momentum, and it really paid off for him. But, I mean, Camden's not even halfway into this freestyle run yet. He still has plenty of time to get that wow factor in there, and moves like that are really where they're going to come from. So Camden Murphy and Megalodon, no time to really mess around right now. He is just going big. And that is what we all love to see, not just the judges, of course. We talk about the judges because they are really the fate of all these drivers and their seasons, but even as a fan and a commentator, they're great things to see. And Camden Murphy and Megalodon, he is going to go over. He is going to pull off an incredible save. It might not have been as long as some of the other saves we've seen, but in terms of how cool it was, that might be the best save of the night. I mean, he had to dig deep to pull that out, and he absolutely did. Camden Murphy and Megalodon. What was that move? It looked like he was in midair and the truck went into reverse, but it looks like that's going to end his run. I'm not sure why that happened. Wow, I thought he still left a lot of time, but actually he only left about 5 seconds on the clock. His time just ran out after he was already over. So, Camden actually had a great run right there. I'm not sure why the truck went into reverse in midair. You never see that at Monster Jam, but that did happen for Camden. But now, there's an important question. Is it enough? Score to beat Colvinard, 9.539. The score for Camden Murphy and Megalodon is a 9.381. 9.381. Not enough for the top spot, but it is a great score, honestly. That's exactly what you're going to want to see. So, Camden Murphy, I mean, he's in a great spot. That puts him in second place right now in freestyle. That makes up for all the loss he had of points in racing, getting pretty much last place. He was in the bottom 4, but now he's in podium. So, Camden Murphy on his comeback right now. But don't get it confused. There's still 6 competitors left ready to knock him right out of that second place spot. So, don't go anywhere, fans. Plenty of action still to come. Well, the competition continues on, but we're getting close to the end here. Only 6 competitors left, and this one means business. He's got that body fully repaired now. That's how you know he's ready to go. Zach Garner, he got that truck looking nice and pretty, but it's not going to be that way for long if I know anything about Zach Garner. It's freestyle time. Oh my goodness. Zach Garner, what a way to start a run. He is going to send it right off the get-go. Zach Garner in Wildside, like I said, he knows how to throw down a freestyle run, and that is staying absolutely true right now. As he is going huge right now in freestyle. We're not even 30 seconds in, mind you, and he has already gotten the biggest air of the night on 3 separate occasions. I mean, Zach Garner in Wildside, he is really showing you fans what he's made of. Another second-generation driver out here, but his father, Jamie Garner, is not running this tour. Zach Garner in Wildside, you gotta be kidding me. He is going massive with these full sends. He is showing no signs of slowing down right now. Neither is the truck. I mean, that truck is holding up like a champ, even with all these things that Zach Garner is throwing at it. I mean, props to the technicians on Overboard Motorsports. I mean, Team Overboard is really coming through with this chassis. Zach Garner said, "Flag, who needs it?" As it falls down right there on the track. It's Morgan and Morgan backflip time. Zach Garner, the first of the night to do the mini flip, the 8-pack backflip, I should say, and he nails it and gets a moonwalk combination, and he is now going to space in this freestyle run. He just got on NASA's, I mean, he just got on NASA's radar. There's no doubt about it. Oh my goodness. Huge error. Oh, wow. That is a tough hit. I mean, we're seeing if he can get refired. The truck shut itself off with a landing like that. Still got about 4 seconds on the clock. I mean, if he really wants to give this run a good end, he could. Oh, he's refired. Zach Garner, he's not going down without a fight. Full sends continue on. The clock has resumed. Time now expires for Zach Garner. He's not stopping though. He is still going. One wheel, and that truck is barrel rolling through the air. Is he gonna set this down? Oh my goodness, that truck has stopped perfectly on that barrier. That is just amazing. That is really a testament to how well that barrier has been placed. The truck did not touch the stands whatsoever. and was perfectly stopped by that barrier. That is incredible. You see that front left tire spinning? That is because Zach Garner broke an axle shaft or a planetary, one of the two. That is huge. The fact that Zach still was full sending it with a breakage like that is really a testament to how great of a driver he is. And I mean, now that we're able to see that breakage up close and personal, it's also safe to say we know why the truck went flying the way it did at the end of that freestyle. What an incredible run from Zach Garner and Wildside. But his teammate Cole Vennard holds the lead. And now we have to ask the question once again. Is it enough? Score to beat Cole Vennard, 9.539. And the score for Zach Garner Wildside is a 9.472. Wow, so close to taking the top spot. But you know what? It's not the top spot, but it is second place right now. And seeing as Zach got almost dead last in racing, getting second place in this competition so far is going to be huge. It's going to be crucial for him to make up those lost points. That's a great piece of news there for Zach Garner and Wildside, as that's going to really help him get his scores back up there. Well, it's been a great night of freestyle action, but just from seeing this truck right here, it's about to get a lot better, that's for certain. Coming up next, and this is the final 5 we've now made our way into, this is Joe Foley in Axe. And Joe Foley, let me tell you, he is one of the greatest freestylers of the generation. I mean, he is straight out of 2010 with his freestyle runs, I'll tell you that much. And he is going huge to kick off the run. Big air central for Joe Foley. Now fans, after this run, we're going to take another quick break. Expect maybe 2 minutes. And then we're going to get right back into the action. Joe Foley, though, he is the real center of attention right now. He is going big. Now, there's an issue, though. Your fans see that? Broken sway bars in the rear end. What does that mean for Joe Foley? Well, it means it's going to be harder to control that Monster Jam truck. As you can see, it's taking that turn very strangely. That's one thing. Second thing, he's not going to be able to do a Morgan-to-Morgan backflip tonight. There's a rule with Monster Jam that if your truck is broken, whether that be a suspension issue, a tie rod, something like that, you're not going to be able to do a backflip. The only real exception would be an axle shaft or planetary, but we haven't really seen that occur yet. But just like Adam Anderson, Joe Foley suffers a detrimental breakage that's going to take him out of being able to complete a backflip, and that's going to be crucial. And it looks like the truck issues are going to continue on, as that awkward landing has messed up his front steering. He no longer has control over the steering of that Monster Jam truck. He does still have rear steer, which is important because, I mean, you gotta have at least some control, and that's all that Joe Foley really has left for him. But maybe he's gonna be able to pull off a great save here if that truck can cooperate. And yes, it can. Joe Foley in Axe. He is down another sway bar if you look at the front end. That is another sway bar down. Nothing is stopping Joe Foley right now, though, that is for sure. You see that front steering still going all over the place. Joe Foley and Axe, he is still dealing with that. Time has just expired. Joe Foley, he is showing no signs of slowing down, even with time being expired. But that's where things will end. Dead on the lid for Joe Foley and Axe. What an incredible freestyle run. I mean, I don't even know what to say. He had breakage, but he had so many great saves that I really forgot he was even broken. And I forgot he didn't even do a backflip. I mean, what a great run for Joe Foley. But the question once again stands, will it be enough? Score to beat, 9.539 Colvinard. This score for Joe Foley in Axe is a 9.137, so close to being enough for that top spot. It is going to put him really high up, but there have also been a lot of scores in the 9s. So, not as high up as he might want to be, but also still a great score considering he was really battling a lot of truck issues there. So shout out to Joe Foley, made the most of it, had a killer freestyle. Fans, we'll be right back into the action in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. We still have 4 more competitors and a special surprise encore planned. Don't go anywhere. The action is still continuing on. Well, Monster Jam fans, as promised, we're getting right back into the action. And coming up next, he placed 4th place in skills, but pretty poorly in racing, so he's got some serious makeup to do here in freestyle. But he is a 4-time world champion. I'm sure he's not afraid to do it. This is none other than Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. He's coming off the line, and he is going huge. Oh, wow, I was about to say huge, and then my body decided, nope, he went huge right there. I mean, I know I said Bryce Kenny went outside the stadium, but I mean, even Bryce had nothing on what Ryan just did. Oh my goodness. Ryan, slow down. That was only the 2nd hit of the freestyle for Ryan Anderson, and he almost ended it right away. I mean, what a night it's been. I just gotta say that really quickly. Every single competitor in every single competition has done something insane. It has been an absolutely incredible show, and the freestyle we're seeing right now from Ryan Anderson only proves that. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, the stuff we're seeing just right off the bat from Ryan is the stuff you would expect to see, not even like in the last 20 seconds. You'd expect to see it as like the last hit. Ryan has already had 2 incredible moves. I mean, you gotta be kidding me right now. Ryan Anderson, this is a picture-perfect freestyle. Oh no! Bit of an end-cab shot there as that last rollover ensues. Ryan Anderson, he is done. Goes huge to end the run. And that BKT tire came clean off. I mean, if you're landing sideways from a solid 50 feet in the air, I don't know what else you would expect. Ryan Anderson is done early. He did leave about 40 seconds, and that's definitely going to affect his score. How badly is that going to affect his score? Let's find out. Score to beat Colvinard at 9.539. Your score for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, is a 9.315. A big score for Ryan considering how much time he left on the clock and no backflip or stuff like that. Ryan got a pretty good score for what it's worth, so Ryan should be going home happy, getting a score of a 9.315. A pretty, I mean, that was an amazing Monster Jam run. It doesn't matter who you ask. That is what a freestyle run should look like. Ideally, you fill a little bit more time, but nonetheless, absolutely killer stuff there for Ryan Anderson and son of a digger. Wouldn't expect anything less of him. Absolutely incredible. Only 3 competitors remain. We'll be seeing Tyler Menninga, followed by Blake Granger, and then finally John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Coming up next, this driver is a reigning world champion. In this competition, your reigning world freestyle champion. You know he's here and he means business. Coming up next, 3rd to last competitor and the current points leader. This is Tyler Menninga behind the wheel of Gravedigger. Tyler is coming out here. He's got the pressure on him. I mean, he's series points leader. He cannot afford to make a mistake right now or he will lose that lead. So Tyler, pressure is on. He is going big to kick off the freestyle. Tyler, up until this point, has gone undefeated in series championships. Unless you count the 2024 BeamNG Destruction Series, where he did not, I don't believe he actually competed on that tour last year. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure we did not see Tyler Menninga on the BeamNG Destruction Series. I believe he was on a separate tour that did not get the chance to compete due to a flooding incident. So Tyler Menninga, this is really his time to shine. He has not lost in a Monster Jam Stadium series since 2022. So, you know he's not looking to do that again. And he is going big. Oh my goodness, what a save for Tyler Menninga. Oh no. That is unfortunate. Not even something he could have controlled. Wow. You know, you like to let breakages drive on. That's why we're not shutting off, you know, broken tie rods or broken axle shafts or even broken sway bars. But when you have a broken shock tower like that, it is a major safety hazard for the driver because the shocks are what make monster trucks safe to drive. And if you break the shocks, it's basically just like falling from 40 feet in the air. So we're going to have to end that run there. A super tough break for Tyler Menninga, who's been having an incredible night up until this point. And this really opens the window for Adam Anderson to potentially take that top spot. Or maybe even someone else like Joe Foley could make his way in there. But with that being said, again, just a really tough break for Tyler. Scores are now locked. And the official score tonight for Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger is a 6.031, which officially takes over last place. Now that is with a 1-point deduction, so he was scored a 7.031 and lost a point for not filling at least 60 seconds, but man, what a tough break for Tyler Menninga. You know that's not what he wanted to see happen when he had the lead up until this point, but he'll be back in the next event, but there's still 2 competitors left to come, so don't go anywhere. Coming up next, your second to last competitor and got second place in this skills challenge with some absolutely incredible combination maneuvers. Please welcome to the track, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Now Blake, he is a 2-time series champion in the international circuit. That's important to not forget because a lot of international stops are big stadium floors. So Blake Granger is drawing out of some of that experience here. And he is getting started with his 2 minutes right away. No time to waste. Oh my goodness. He is showing off some of that Max D skill that he had from previously driving Max D. He's going to take one straight out of Tom Mentz's book and pull off an amazing maximum moonwalk combination move. And he is going to send it down. Oh my goodness, what a harsh landing. I don't know why the truck did that. Just did a full nosedive. Fortunately, it doesn't look like anything broke at all, not even a tie rod. It's a huge surprise when you have a landing like that. So Blake Granger got very lucky right there that his truck is still holding up. We are seeing great momentum. He had a great night in skills, but not a great night in racing. That's really been a common theme tonight. So he's got to push this truck here in freestyle to make up for those lost points. Yes, he made up for some of them in the skills challenge, but not enough, and it's going to continue with the bad luck. He leaves 57 seconds on the clock. That doesn't mean he avoids the 1-point deduction, but that is a super tough break. That's 2 huge upsets in a row. First Tyler, now Blake, ending extremely early. That's going to be really bad news for that points chase for Blake Granger. Scores are locked, and the official score tonight for Blake Granger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian is a 6.733. It's going to put him in the bottom 3 scores right now. So it went from a great night for Blake Granger to a terrible night. It is still the first event of the season. We can expect anywhere from 5 to 10 more shows to occur, but I mean, that's a super tough break. So, really tough break there for Blake Granger. But on that note, only one competitor remains here in freestyle. Fans, get ready. It's about to be big. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Coming up last, your Skills Challenge winner. Please welcome John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. The pressure is on. When you take home a competition win in the first show of the year, your chances to take home this... Oh no! Wow. I guess I should just not speak ever again. This might be the biggest upset in Monster Jam history. The last driver of the night, the previous competition winner, comes out for freestyle, does one hit, and explodes. What an absolutely tough break for John Zimmer Jr. I mean, when you're full sending it like that, it's really a risk you're taking. That is just not how he wanted that to go. I mean, maybe if he put a little bit more brakes on it, he could have avoided that truck from landing in such a way, but I don't know. Because that's a DNF, he's essentially ending with a dead zero. That's going to put him in last place. Last place. Wow. Rough night in racing, an amazing night in skills, and then dead last in freestyle. What a rough night for John Zimmer Jr. Well, fans, don't think that's it. This is the biggest monster truck tour ever here in BeamNG. We're not going to let it end on a low note like that. We have something very special planned for you fans. Don't go anywhere yet. Huge encore is on the way. Get ready. Well, Monster Jam fans, like we were saying, we never like to end on a low note here on the BeamNG Monster Jam Destruction series. We've had a special encore planned for you fans all night long with two incredible Monster Jam drivers ready to hit the track. Coming up first, behind the wheel of the pickup truck BKT, please welcome World Freestyle Champion Charlie Pocket. That's right, we have two special trucks lined up for this encore. It's gonna be a big one. And the first is a World Freestyle Champion. Throwing down an encore freestyle of our proud sponsor, BKT. Charlie Hawkins, BKT. He's showing his fans what it's all about. And a little bit out of bounds there. Gonna put it in reverse. That looks like he's got something in mind. He is eyeing Morgan backflip ramp. He's gonna nail it. Even gets a little bit of a moonwalk out there. We've never really seen a Charlie walking. I guess he's just feeling confident, but he is pulling out all of it quick. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Well, that is interesting. Charlie Hawkins and BKT rose off the side. That was not planned for this encore. That's not really what we were expecting to happen. But like I was saying, Charlie Hawkins is starting to get and I guess that's what happened. I really broke off the fire. Like I said, never end the show on the not how Let's give us 1 second here as this encore goes a step further. Monster Jam fans, as you know, our shows here at Monster Jam are never scripted. These are always 100% unpredictable, crazy, unexpected moments. And our encore is not over yet. Our proud sponsor BKT brought us 2 truck series in this encore. And getting ready to come out of the tunnel, your 2023 World Racing Champion, Tristan England. BKT. Of course, he won that World Racing Championship driving Earthshaker. BKT reached out and they gave us a special Earthshaker body design BKT truck just for Tristan England in this encore. That is incredible. He's revving that engine. He wants you fans to get up on your feet. Oh, wow. Tristan England and BKT has just easily cleared John Zimmer Jr.'s terminal velocity. That wasn't even planned. Like said, John Zimmer Jr. was definitely not planning to brake on the first hit of the run, but Tristan England sees the opportunity. He's getting lined up now on that center obstacle. He's eyeing Charlie Hawkins, BKT. Gonna back this all the way up. Gets instructed to line up with that jammer on his right-hand side. Here goes Tristan England and BKT. He's gonna clear Charlie Hawkins' truck like it wasn't even there. 2 truck jumps in the same encore. What more could you ask for? Well, it looks like it's also Morgan and Morgan backflip time. What an incredible encore it's been. Uh-oh. I guess it's not done yet. I thought it was, but Tristan England looks like he's got something in mind. Tristan England and the BKT, let's hear it. He's about to go big with something here. Uh-oh. Looks like he's trying to get a feel for that ramp, trying to figure out what exactly he's going to have to do to get whatever he has planned down correctly. Put your hands together for Tristan England, BKT. He's got a big plan here. Oh! He just did a forward momentum backflip. He landed straight on BKT. And all those BKT tires held up. Really a testament to the quality of our Monster Jam sponsors. Tristan England. Wow, what an incredible move. This is what I'm saying. These encores, we always make sure to end out shows on the Destruction Series on a big note from here on out. And he just made himself a new obstacle. Now he has 2 trucks to jump over at the same time instead of just terminal velocity. This encore just keeps on getting better. I just don't even know what else to say at this point. He's going to do it again from a different angle. This time he's going to almost clear BKT. He's going in for the save, but it looks like that's going to do it for Tristan England and BKT. And on that note, that is going to wrap up the first event of the 2025 Monster Jam BeamNG Destruction Series. Coming into this event, I said it was going to be huge, and you guys got to admit that was an incredible event. I mean, the first BeamNG Destruction Series to feature racing, the first BeamNG Destruction Series to feature an encore, and it was an amazing encore at that. And our winner's circle is also very stacked, with Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend taking racing, John Zimmer Jr., aka Little Zim, taking skills, and Colvin Ard and the Black Pearl taking freestyle. That's an amazing winner circle, and the points are all over the place. I couldn't even tell you who's leading right now. That's going to be calculated later and posted to Instagram. So keep your eyes peeled there. That will be linked in the description. Man, I am speechless. That was a textbook amazing Monster Jam show. I hope you fans all enjoyed it. This tour is continuing on for another week. I believe the next stop will be either Glendale or Houston, so keep your eyes peeled for that. They may be returning back to San Diego. We'll see how things turn up with the series. But I hope you fans enjoyed that. That was an absolutely incredible event. I hope you guys agree. And I'll see you all again the next BeamNG Monster